Hello, everybody. Welcome back on this lovely afternoon. Vern, how are you?
I'm all good. I'm good. I'm okay. You know what I'm saying? This is different. Something seems different.
I know we're in person. Like I can touch you. Just I'm not touching though. I'm not touching. I'm not.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man. Anyways, what are we talking about today, Vern? What will we film?
Well, I don't know. Let's see. What did we watch in theaters over the weekend?
I don't know. I've already gone 5 times
Oh
in
my
one
gosh.
day.
No. Did.
Nah, just kidding. No, let's talk about Mortal Kombat today, which I watched at home at first on HBO Max just because it dropped on Friday, and we went to the theaters on Saturday, and I liked it. I liked it at home still. I'm not gonna lie. It was definitely it's nice though. Like with Godzilla versus Kong, how it drops the first day or like in theaters and at home. So it's kind of nice, being in your own zone, especially on my living room because I got the big screen. I was able to pop that on there, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. How did you watch? You watched it in theaters first or at home first?
I saw it first in theaters when we went to go watch it. Yes, that was my first time seeing the movie, and it was pretty awesome. And then right after I left the theater, got home, put it on HBO Max as well. And it's just so cool seeing the movie back to back like that, where it's like, you see it in the theater and you see it on your own TV screen. And I mean, I got to say, no matter how good, your setup is at home, the movie just looked so much better in theater. It was crazy. It was crazy seeing the difference.
It was so much better. Not only could I hear everything just because I don't want to blow out my speakers at home, but in the Dolby theater, it was just, I could hear everything, little jokes, little like more pieces of like the action in the background. So it was definitely a much better experience. I was falling asleep again a little bit because it's been a while since, my couch and stuff is comfortable, but some about those Dolby seats, man, you're just all plush and you're just kind of like sitting back, like because you can lean it back. Yeah. So yeah, I really liked it. I will definitely say this is a movie I prefer in theaters though.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, so if you wanted to go see it in the theaters, definitely do it. Now, Burn, out of 5 rantings, what would you recommend? I
would give it a 3 out of 5.
Okay.
Solid, real good. A lot of weird decisions that they did make that were like, I felt like we've gotten to this point in like a lot of pop culture movies and a lot of these like comic book movies that are now famous and stuff. They're really, really just going into a lot of like the backstories and stuff, and it just felt like this one was kind of a step back in that sort of way where they're still making decisions that people were making back in like the 90s, where it's like they felt like they needed to do certain things for the audience even though the audience are all just fans now.
I guess I could see that. I don't know. I personally liked it. I'm not that you didn't like it, but I'm just saying I think I would give it at least if I'm comparing to the originals, definitely a 5 out of 5. But if the originals
compared to Annihilation,
comparing to both,
6,
okay,
10 out of 5.
The first one's not that great either. Come on. Anyways, that's neither here nor there.
Without the nostalgia factor.
But as a movie on its own, I'm inclined to agree with you. I will give it a 3 out of 5 just because as much as I love the character design, the casting was pretty solid. I really liked who they went with especially for Sonya Blade, Jax, Sub-Zero, Scorpion. There was just a lot of questionable editing in this movie.
Yeah.
It's a lot of freaking cuts, and for so much action, I guess I'm kind of used to the standard of like the Raid, John Wick, where it's a little bit more spaced out, or just at like a better angle. Some of the fighting in this could have been done a lot better, but that's why I'm like, you know what, it's much better. It's a great way to reboot the series, especially for theaters. I know there's a lot of good buzz about it bringing back the franchise essentially. So we're gonna get a whole new franchise, and with updated effects and basically just better filming techniques. It's like, we can get a really solid franchise, and Warner Brothers, to play the cards right, then this could be like their MCU, the DCEU. Well, they already have the DCEU, but you know what I mean. This is just another thing for them to work with.
Just another one of those IPs that they can just keep tapping into, year after year. Yeah, I do think that this one very much serves as a good starting point for the franchise. That's why I hope it is this, that it does become successful, so that way we can get a part two that has more budget and possibly better people behind the scenes to really punch up those action sequences and yeah, bring in more characters and characters that wouldn't work with a lower budget, because if anything, Mortal Kombat has like one of the most craziest cast of characters.
Yeah, but for the budget they had, the action was still like some of the scenes they did, especially Sub-Zero and Scorpion scene, which you see in the trailers. That was my favorite fight out of all of them. Actually, no, yeah, it is my favorite one. I'm gonna stay with that one.
Yeah, their two fights are definitely my favorites.
Yeah, we're gonna jump in a little bit of spoilers here. Not necessarily we're gonna give away everything, but we're just gonna talk about our favorite parts. So just a heads up, if you haven't seen this movie, you want to watch it, this is the time to maybe just mute us or come on back when you do see it, so we can discuss what you liked about it, what you didn't like about it. What you think, Berm?
Yep. Yeah, we should do that. We should get into the fight.
All right, now we're back with the spoilers. Let's start with let's knock out the bad things and end with the positives. Like I said, man, there are a couple scenes where I was like, why do you have to do like 3 different cuts at one in one shot? You know what I mean?
Yeah. It did seem like they were going back to the early 2000s style of shooting action, where
it has to be fast paced.
Yeah, everything was just like cut. Where it's like now that a post John Wick world, where now we can just be like pull the camera back and let these these different stunt performers do their thing.
Yeah, honestly, even not that you were knocking on John Wick, but John Wick is even much slower, and that's a fast-paced action movie. Because there was this moment, not even all the fighting scenes are pretty well spaced out. They're set back where it's there's a lot going on, but you don't feel like it. You're not really too distracted by it just because it's at such a far. It's got a good pacing for it. You know what I mean?
Right.
You could see everything in the fighting. With this one, they kind of went with the up close, and it's not up close fighting works anymore. Especially for a movie like Mortal Kombat, where you want to see the characters, you want to see what they're doing. Like Sub-Zero and Scorpion. There's a couple of parts where I was like, why is it so up close? You can bring it back. I would like to see everything.
And that's why there are 2 fights that they had together were my favorites of the movie, because the camera was a little bit more pulled back for them. Not like you said, there are times where they come in a little too close and cut and stuff, but for the most part, there were times where it really let these 2 guys who are awesome martial artists really get into the fight sequences, and that's why those ones turned out to be the best of the movie, I think.
Yeah, no, and it's awesome that we got to see Joe Taslim and Hiroyuki Sanada together. Not that they've never really been in a movie together, and they're definitely some of the best martial artists in the business. So it was really cool seeing, Japanese and an Indonesian fighter pretending to be a Chinese guy, which I don't know if that's considered bad. I'm not going to get into that right now. But it was great to see them go at it together and kind of see that mixture of that style. And again, just their design was fantastic. But trying to put my finger on it. There was something else that not necessarily I was reading this on the underutilization of Sub-Zero and Scorpion, which I saw somebody make that complaint. I'm like, yeah, a little bit. Yeah, Scorpion at least for sure.
Yeah, Sub-Zero a little less because he's kind of a constant presence.
Yeah, he's
throughout the movie, which I did really like.
Yeah, when he was in it, he stole the show. That was just that. There was no debate on that. He was the coolest dude in this movie. But yeah, Scorpion, he was in the beginning, at the very end. It was there could have been a lot more with him in throughout the movie, just because, if you know Scorpion, how he dies and essentially fights in hell, the Netherrealm, essentially. And I think it would have been cool to kind of see his journey through the Netherrealm to get to that point. How Cole is seeing him in the movie, he would be seeing Cole. You know what I mean? Cole was seeing Scorpion in the mirrors and stuff. It'd be cool if Scorpion was whoa, who is this person? My descendant kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess so.
I thought it would be kind of a nice little thing to offset that. But yeah, so the editing, the characters. Other than that, anything else that you found that kind of bothered you at all?
I don't know. I mean, I guess just maybe some of just the cheesy dialogue.
The dialogue.
Although I will say Kano has the best lines in the movie, but a lot of the things that they have Cole say in particular are just kind of why it's just, maybe it was also just his delivery, but just since we're in the spoilers now, when him and the family get to that safe house and he's like, I have to go. This thing will kill you. I have to leave.
Okay,
I'm like,
yeah, it's not over. Yeah, no, okay,
yeah.
I
I'm
can see
like,
that.
oh my gosh, like you couldn't have found a better way to say it, or maybe like a better delivery. Just like, oh man, like they didn't give him the best stuff to work with in terms of dialogue. And then like at the end when he's like, guys, we need to come together, fight smarter. And so I'm like, this is supposed to be like a pump up moment, and you're just kind of like, hitting the beats like, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, you gotta do. I'm like, dude, just get us pumped more.
I mean, I guess I didn't really think about the dialogue, but now that you're pointing that out, I'm gonna totally notice it the next time I watch it. Just like how bad is it? Godzilla status bad though? No, I don't think it was that bad.
No.
Whereas just like what? You're right. Like where you're answering
Godzilla
a question in a questionable tone.
1990.
Yeah, the 97, 99, whatever it was.
Not the newer one.
No. We're not. I'm not gonna bash the new Godzilla. That's actually my favorite one right now. But yeah, I could see that complaint, just the dialogue. That is another complaint for everybody. It's like this dialogue's so bad. But at the same time, I was going into it as like a video game adaptation. We want it to be good, at least like look good for the most part. Just because most video game adaptations, they don't look good and they do terrible. Like it's a bad combination of everything. But they got the fighting right, they got the violence right.
You got the violence very right.
Oh my god, yeah. Should we move into the positives now since I got nothing else to bash on.
Yeah,
really.
No.
Yeah, no.
Now that we're on the violent, that's like the best part of the movie.
Oh my god, yeah. Like I said, the character design was great. Just Sub-Zero's look, like even in the beginning where they got their simple martial arts stuff. I was like, okay, all right, I like it. Like they look good. They look the roles. And then just like a little bit after, you see Sub-Zero donning the full gear. Like he is assumed not only just no longer for the Lin Kuei, but he is, but he's just a new level of master where he's Sub-Zero. He's no longer Bihan.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm glad I got to hear how it's pronounced because I either hear Bihan or Bihan, so I feel better. It's like, okay, Hiroyuki said Bihan.
Bihan.
That's what I'm sticking with. And then Scorpion with the samurai garb, his mask looked like a little bit like a skull. I was just like, yes, they got it accurate because they are supposed to be Japanese and Chinese characters. And I do give props on, even though it's a little dumb to have that in the subtitles, how it said like in Chinese, in Japanese. It kind of is, it's kind of almost telling like, I hate to say this, the dumb audience, like these are two different languages, so just keep that in mind.
Well, yeah, and then it also played into the story too, where there is like a language gap between them. Like they don't always completely understand each other. And
they didn't understand each other.
Yeah,
like, the wife was like, I don't know what you're saying. And he's like, in Japanese, like he basically like switched to it because he knows she wasn't getting it. So I thought that was pretty badass. Bihan was just a great villain.
Joe Taslim was a great choice to play Bihan. Like his presence, just like he has like some of the best like expressions like with his body. But like he's very much and like those eyebrows too when he has a mask on. Like he's just uses like because he's so covered up. He uses like the other tools in his acting trade.
The best character since Fast 6. He was in Fast 6, if you remember.
I don't remember.
You don't remember that?
I've blocked that.
It was the best movie.
No.
Yes, the runway, everything.
But no, yeah, like he does a great job. Seriously. And the fact that they treated him kind of like a horror movie villain, like throughout the movie, it comes in how he's like always popping up and like hunting them down. I thought that was really cool.
His mask look kind of reminded me of like a gator almost, like the way like from a side view, like how the silver was really accenting on the top part, just around it. I always kept thinking like this guy's like a crocodile, like he's gonna hunt and get you, like snap at you. I don't know. I just thought it was really cool. Like I just couldn't get my eyes off of Bihan Bihan. And honestly, Hot Toys, if you're listening and if you ever see this, anybody from Hot Toys reps this, Bill, let's get a Scorpion Sub-Zero figure.
Yeah, that's a given.
Let's not wait till the next movie. Let's just get him now.
Yeah, so that was really cool. I really liked him, and I do hope he comes back for the future movies because it is in the canon that that he can come back as
Noob Saibot, and then his brother Kuai Lang will become the new head of the Lin Kuei, and Hiroyuki I hope he keeps coming back because I know Hiroyuki's a little on the older side.
Yeah,
so hopefully he can keep this franchise going for another like at least 6, 7 years, 8 years, depending how
until he's dead.
Oh my god, yeah, until he's dead. What else? What's another thing you like besides the characters and the costume design?
I mean, Kano I mean,
Kano was pretty
I'm going to
cool.
keep going on pauses, and pauses are the character.
He's such
So
a terrible person though, but he was.
he had the best lines in the movie, and he was just a total like a-hole the whole time to everybody. And like when he betrays them, it's like, well, that's in character. He's that type of guy. But just like like how they were playing around with a nice little movie, like a little allusion to the games where. When they're in the training session and Liu Kang keeps doing the sweeping kick.
Yeah.
It's like when you're playing someone and you just keep spamming the same attack over and over.
Yeah, he tried to jump in. It's like, oh fuck.
Yeah, yeah. He tries to anticipate and immediately like knows like, oh nope, he faked me out.
That's a double-edged sword with this movie too, because it is a video game movie. They are making it for the fans. That they did have several moments, as much as and two of them I loved, especially when just Kano punches Reptile's heart out, and he's like,
Oh
Kano
yeah,
wins. Like that was such a great scene. I was just like, oh my god, just like the games. And then Liu Kang with his fatality when he kills Nitara, that was gnarly. I did not think they would get away with that. That was the
Kung Lao, you
violence.
mean?
Kung
Yeah,
Lao.
with the
Who did I?
blade hat. You said Liu Kang.
Liu Kang, Kung Lao. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was
But
brutal.
Kung Lao with his sword hat, his blade hat, and just oh my god, it was
Chopped up and
so brutal.
Awesome.
I'm surprised they were able to get away with it. Like that's definitely like B movie violence, and it was really well done. But just when he's like flawless victory and just did that, I was like, that's
Yeah.
so cool because it was flawless. But
Yeah, he didn't get hit once.
he did not. And then what else? What about you, Bern? You keep going while I'm thinking about this.
Well, I mean, just the beginning scene was great. Like I liked how it really started, like back in time, and I didn't think that would be something we would see. I didn't watch like the first 7 minutes when they released it in
Oh, I did not.
like
I kept trying
online
to.
before the movie had come out, so I wanted to wait till I saw the movie in theaters. But that whole beginning I felt was such like a really good tone setter for the movie, and I thought that for the most part the tone of the movie really nailed the tone of the games, where it is violent but it could be very playful at times.
Yeah.
And yeah, and then in the beginning, just like I said, just immediately when the whole Shirai Ryu get massacred and his wife and child get killed, you're like, oh wow, this is intense. Like this movie is not gonna hold back.
Yeah, and they could have done it. They could have done that way more violent, but I think that would have been a little too messed up, especially for trying to reboot this series. Like they need to start at a good pace. Just because in the Scorpion's Revenge animated movie, uh, Bihan basically has his son and crushes his neck, like because of ice. So
Oh.
it basically freezes his son's neck, and just crushes him. I was like, oh no! Given that's an anime movie, so they're not gonna do that, but
They could get away with it.
they could get away with it. But I'm glad they didn't. That would have been a little too harsh. So yeah, and then again, I love what they did with Jessica McNamee as Sonya Blade. Her character was a little cheesy at times, but I think look wise and her action was really well done for the character. They can do much better in the movies. And overall, this just set the tone and like basically the foundations for this franchise to work. Like we're basically, because this is almost like a prequel to the original Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, because it's before the tournament.
Yeah, they were training for the tournament. Shang Tsung tried to stop it. So I'm really excited to see what the next one will be like. And obviously, since the ending, I don't want, I know it's spoilers, but I'm not going to spoil that for everybody yet. But they basically hint at a fan favorite coming in the next one. So it's like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Like I definitely need a second one after this. And again, after seeing Scorpion and everybody in Sub-Zero, like I want to see what they keep doing to update the characters. Like they could definitely do more of like a ninja look, like an armored ninja instead of samurai, like in this one, like where he's a revenant, but then he comes back. If you follow the games, this makes it a lot more easier to understand. Honestly, I feel like I've only played Mortal Kombat 11, so that's the only thing I really know about Mortal Kombat. I know you've played a couple of the games, right?
Yeah,
like
the last three that
the
they have,
last three.
9, X, and 11, which are basically their own sort of trilogy because 9 serves as sort of a reboot to the series, so that's a pretty good jumping on point.
Oh, is it real? Okay,
Yeah.
so I didn't know when I know that I've seen like they've restarted the timeline a couple times. I just didn't know when this one started, but it's 9, 10, 11. Okay.
Yeah, and I think even if you jump into the next one that's going to be coming out, whenever they release it, that'll be a good jumping on point too, because they just reset the timeline again.
Oh my god, yeah, because Mortal Kombat 11 was crazy.
And one more thing I will say that I did like, and I didn't think I would like, for the movie was the whole explanation of their mark and the mark how
Yeah,
that makes them chosen, and that's kind of like what unleashes their inner power, which is they refer to as arcana.
Basically, their special abilities in the game.
Yeah, their special abilities in the game. Like they found a way to have a reason for that in the movie, and I didn't hate that decision. I thought it was like, okay, for a movie and for this type of explanation, it works.
Yeah, and I really liked how I thought it was a good justified way of how they get those like Jax with his arms, Kung Lao and his like teleporting ability like in the game.
Sonya
Liu Kang with the flames and all that stuff. And then Cole Young was a really cool character. I don't want to spoil too much on him, but I really like what they did with him and how he's related to Scorpion. So yeah, like I said, and Louis Tan, yeah, his delivery is not the best, but he's also a martial artist too. So I'm glad he was doing that. He missed out on Shang-Chi, but it's like, dude, you got Mortal Kombat, so at least it's a good thing to fall back on.
Yeah, for him, it's both like a positive and negative for me. Like I do like him in the movie. I just feel like maybe that the character that they made him wasn't like really necessary as an audience surrogate, especially when what they tease at the end is a much better audience surrogate for people coming into this story. Like that, if he would have played that character that they tease, I feel like it would have been much better.
I could totally agree with that. And honestly, I was thinking about it, but I'm like, Louis Tan would be an awesome Terry McGinnis for Batman Beyond.
Oh,
because I know there were talks about Titan season 2 and how he was supposed to be Batman, but obviously that never happened. So, but besides that, that's pretty much all I got. We got to see Outworld. We got to see, the Netherrealm a little bit. We got there again. They're setting the foundations to explore more of the Mortal Kombat universe, and especially because I think they did a good blend of the original games and movies mixed with the new timeline, like we talked about through the last few games, because that's essentially what they were trying to do, and it looked great. So yeah, Simon McCoy, good job, everybody who worked on the movie. That's awesome. Your work is not going unnoticed. Let's just say that.
Yep. Just maybe, tweak the script for the next one a little bit more and then hire a better second unit director to do the fight scenes.
Exactly.
And it'll be awesome.
It'll be a winner, another winner, essentially, because it was the #1 box office, but it's still got ways to go.
Oh, I think it's already a success. So hopefully they take it and run with it.
I'm hoping so. But until next time, everybody, we have no more Falcon Winter Soldier to talk about. So that's a little bittersweet. Like I'm like, what do we do now? I don't
well, we got a bunch of stuff to look forward to.
Oh my god, I know, right? Well, we got Michael B. Jordan's movie Without Remorse coming out this week. It's gonna be another good week. I'm not gonna lie. But Byrne, is there anything else you'd like to shout out or mention?
Nope. Just stay cool. Be safe, be good to each other, and stay bodacious. Keep on, man.
Exactly. Deuces, everybody.